What's up, rock and rollers? It's been a while since I've done a how-to video here on the great YouTube. So I figured today I will do a short tutorial on adding grit and distortion to your voice safely. And I'm not talking about the white noise fry scream, and if that's what you're looking to do, check out my other video on screaming. But today we're going to work on gnarly grit. So first and foremost, what this comes down to is, first of all, support. And you notice I bring up support a lot in my videos because, for one, if you can't support a clean note right, you're not going to be able to support a distorted one either. And the distorted ones take a little more effort to do. I'm going to show you two different types. The first one being chesty, gritty, gnarly, yeah! Something like that. And then the higher head voice, more of like a false fold scream on pitch note, like yeah, something like that. That was a little loud. But yeah, what it comes down to first is support. First and foremost, if you're doing this at home and it hurts, stop. You're doing it wrong and you will hurt yourself. You should never feel this in your throat at all. It's just more of a, to me it feels like a vibrating above my vocal cords up in the soft palate of my mouth. Practice this in moderation, and I say extreme moderation. That, and always keep water handy, room temperature water, because this does dry your cords out. So let's get into it. To activate this, like I said, you need to use more downward support and engage your diaphragm and lower abs more than you would in normal singing. And an analogy for this that I kind of like to use is the taking a dump feeling. You know, when you really have to take a shit, you're trying to squeeze one out and your abs are clenched. Just don't shit yourself, because that wouldn't be cool on stage. So starting out, this is the sound you're trying to go for. Just think of a muffler. Take a good deep singer's breath, anchor down, and open it up into that. One more time, singer's breath, anchor down, yeah. And that's not in my throat at all. That's, like I said, vibrating up in the soft palate of my mouth. Also, you should be standing for this, but if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm lazy, so I'm going to sit here. And I know that sounds goofy, but that's the starting point and the sensation you should feel when adding grit or distortion. Yeah. And once you kind of get that down, you can start building that up and adding it into actual notes, singing notes. Like we can take just, whoa, yeah, yeah, and turn it into, oh, yeah, yeah. And that is not in my throat. That is, like I said, up in the soft palate roof of my mouth area. So just practice that. Yeah. Trying to get that sound down, and gradually work your way up, or higher and higher in pitch. Yeah, 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 until you can do something kind of like that. And that's probably the hardest one to do, is the lower range or the mid-range distortion. But practice makes perfect, so keep at it. Okay, part two is head voice distortion, and this actually activates easier than your chest distortion does. More or less, the same technique applies. You're just doing it on a headier note, a head voice note, a higher note. Kind of more of like a Chris Cornell-ish scream. So we can do this like, we'll do it on a B. We'll do it clean first. Hey! And we'll apply everything I just showed you, the taking the shit feeling and supporting more, and turn it more into a yay! And that's how you do head voice distortion. So now comes my favorite part of these tutorials is application. First, I will demonstrate the high head voice, I guess Cornell scream, and it just so happens that I have some Temple of the Dog queued up right now. Here we go. Remember to anchor down. Singer's breath and anchor down. Here we go. That is that for that one. Okay, example number 2, the chest distortion. Take a drink of water real quick. We're gonna do a snippet from Alice in Chains. I know that on this particular song, Lane didn't distort the verses as much, but for example's sake, I'm going to. So let's do this. Here we go. Remember to anchor down. I'm the man in the box. Buried in my shit. Won't you come? We'll do one more high head voice note. You gotta do the chorus on this song. Here we go. Anchor down. That's it. Just also, when you're doing this, you gotta make the scream face. Ah! Just so it looks like you're actually putting forth more effort than you are. Alright, so that's been my scream, or not my scream, my grit tutorial for today. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions, leave me comments. Remember, anchor down, take it all. Not literally.